Now we will get into the third step on the Eightfold Path. Although language can be kind of misleading, as these steps are all interrelated. They're not necessarily in order, although a certain order can help understanding. You can think about the path as a wheel, and all the spokes on the wheel, it's all interconnected and all interrelated, and you can somewhat start anywhere on the path, but like I talked about before, understanding is kind of key to really launching a practice, and intention has to be there to do so. So last time we left off with wise intent or aspiration. You've seen the truth, and now you're inspired to put these teachings into practice. Your intention is to change the way you live your life, and that sounds daunting. It comes little by little and step by step. It's a continuous process, and that's actually inspiring, because any given moment you can be practicing. You can work on the Dharma, you can really meditate anywhere, anytime. And now it has to do with wholesome and unwholesome activities, and we'll get into that. You're not meditating when you hurt somebody. So, anyhow, the third noble truth. So now we have this aspiration. And there are different orders, and all these talks are impromptu, so I'm just going off the top of my head here. So he starts to talk about things like effort. So you have effort. First you have your aim, your intention, and then you have your effort. And obviously you need both. You have your intention, and now you have to follow through with it. So I'm going to do it in that order. So wise effort. So primarily we're talking about effort that has to do with your practice and with living life wisely. Living your life wisely is the practice, fundamentally. So the kind of effort you're going to need to make is to, a huge part is to have a meditation practice. And this is where the change is going to happen, and eventually it'll bleed through into all your life, and that's great. But you start with the practice. And that can be specific or general. I mean, you can practice all the time, like I was talking about. Specifically formal meditation practice. So I did a video series on mindfulness meditation for beginners, and so you could start with your meditation practice. It's good to be consistent. You want to try to practice every day, because that's where you're going to see the changes. You can build up an enormous amount of momentum practicing constantly, over years. A lot of people often go on retreat, as that can help you to accelerate your practice, to really, that continuity is really important. To have days on end where you're just meditating, where you're training in the practice, can be huge. But even if you're not there yet, or even if you're just doing your daily life practice, it's good to try to do it, even to do little bits at a time throughout the day is better than missing several days. You don't have to necessarily sit for half an hour or an hour, although you could, and you'll probably build up to that. But even if you sit for 5-10 minutes, and you do so 3, 4, 5 times a day, or whatever it happens to be, you want the key is to keep coming back to it. Think about it throughout the day. Check yourself throughout the day. Wake up. Become aware. And so that's a huge part of wise effort. I think I will continue next time.